Hello there. Hello. My name is Matthew Drummond. I'm the editor of the Australian Financial Review magazine. And whenever the AFR magazine covers matters of better urban design, we tend to find that these are among the most read items on the website for the Australian Financial Review. Our magazine is inserted monthly into the Financial Review newspaper. AFR magazine covers matters of substance with style and matters of style with substance. We arc across business, politics, arts and culture, fashion, food, architecture and design. Most of our readers would not consider themselves to be design or architecture aficionados, but they do tend to live and work in and around the centres of Australia's largest cities, and hence they implicitly understand that thoughtful and considered design and architecture has the promise to not just untangle their daily commute, but also offers the promise of making the urban experience more meaningful. And our next speaker is someone who, through her work, does exactly that. Carme Pinós has joined us here in Melbourne today from Barcelona. Her work spans large urban developments to items of furniture, from social housing through to office towers and through to a quietly beautiful crematorium. When interviewed by AFR magazine's design editor, Stephen Todd, in a feature that will appear in our next issue, which is available for all you today, Carme said that architecture is a social service. It starts with social responsibility, and architects need to think beyond the building. As Stephen writes, her buildings reflect a design philosophy of community and inclusiveness, and this in turn has helped shape a broader trend in architecture towards generosity and integrity, something that's all the more needed as populations in our cities swell. Carme's current projects include the reanimation of the La Boqueria Market in Barcelona, and of course this year's M Pavilion here in Melbourne. She's also the recipient of the 2016 Berkeley Rupp Architecture Professorship and Prize for her contribution to advancing gender equity in the field of architecture. Would you please welcome to the stage Carme Pinós.
Okay, hello. First of all, sorry, my English is not so good, but with this light, I suppose it's going to manage. Okay, and this time I like to talk about city, I'm not an urbanist, but I believe that when you work in a building, in a urban architecture, you are making city. Each time that I work and I make something in the city, I am making city. Then I present two projects that big scale. One is in my own city, Barcelona. Both are won in competitions. Okay, it's me that pass. Whoops, yeah, I start, but that don't work. It's not my fault, it's the machine. Yes, yeah. Okay, I don't know if the people know Barcelona. This is the old city. Okay, I'm going not to point, pass back. You must imagine, I don't know, as you know, the Barcelona, but it's an intervention of there is the Rambla de las Flores. In the middle of the Ramblas de las Flores is a big market, and behind the big market was a space that for years had been empty, because this is the traces of a big intervention in the times of the dictadura and the 60s, that in the middle of the old city wanted to build enormous building high with the same like the image of the progress, no? In the middle of the old city. By chance, this project stopped, but the parking lot, underneath, was built, and they received a concession for more than 15 years. That means that for years, this space was empty and was a terrible space in the middle of the earth, of the city. We can pass. You see, this is the market, and behind the market, this space completely broken, dirty. And when the concession was almost at the end, the municipality decided to make a competition. And decide to build in a phase public houses and mixed it with private, and in the other side, a school of art. And they make the lines of the actuation. We can pass. This is the image of the site before the actuation, no? You see, it's a shame to have this in the center, absolutely, of Barcelona. We can pass. And this is the lines that the competition give us. As you see, I'm going to try. Yes. This is the houses, and this is the school of art. And the competition make a space, a regular square facing the two buildings, and making narrow streets to arrive to the square. And also, this is the Ramblas. To arrive at this space is only through the market or through the passage that is bordering the market, no? And I make this project with the observation of the city, no? I must say that I make this project thinking with the perspective and thinking with the movement of the people crossing the place, because the quality of this area is an area that there are a lot of different social class. There are immigrants, there are people that live all his life. In this moment, there are also foreign people, because it's a special place, and foreign people like. Young people, it's mixed, no? And I start to observe also the public spaces of the old cities, of this city, no? And in a way, in the Middle Age, that is the origin of this city, the public spaces was not regular shapes, was in a way the negative of the buildings, all the spaces in front of the entrance, but and the only regular square that exists in this area is La Plaza Real. People are familiar with Barcelona. You remember the Plaza Real? The Plaza Real is a square made for the bourgeoisie to make a place to belong to them. And it's a place, a square, with a center. All the facades are equal, looking at a center, no? And in a way, the competition gave this idea of geometry. And I say, no way. I don't want to express, first, because on a side is housing, in the other side is a school. And also, this is an area that there are a lot of different classes, social classes that cross one over the other, no? And I wanted to express that. Then we can pass. And this is the passage, no? This is a view from the passage near bordering the Boqueria, and you observe that the competition make disappear now here, here, make the building that at the end of this, the competition plan a facade that block this promenade. I say, doesn't matter if this facade is beautiful or not beautiful. I don't want to stop this movement with a facade, with a block. And this was the first thought and the first line that I make, is to continue the facade of the building with my actuation. We can pass. And also the observation from all the areas. No? This is the view from, oops, sorry. I am very bad on computer, how you see. I am a dinosaurus, you know? And I draw and I make models with paper. It's my people that manage with the computer, how you see. Okay, doesn't matter. You see at the end, there is the corner of the new school. And I say, this corner, this point of view is the new facade, the most important facade, the angle, no? And all these houses here, all these houses, is going to be destroyed to make the new one, no? We can pass, but again, this is the other view from the other part, no, you see? Also, we destroyed these houses to make the new house. But the observation of here is the limits of the square was okay. I didn't want to change the shapes of this facade. You will see later. We can pass. Yeah, this is my project. You see? No, you don't see. Okay. You see, I continue the facade. Yes, sorry. Yeah. I continue the facade, you see? No. It works like that? Yeah. 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 I continue the facade here, and the movement of the people pass underneath of the building, but also because I wanted to win, I had to move to put this space, this part of the volume that I cut in somewhere. And I make this leg here, also to create different spaces, no? And also I move this line, instead to make a street to enter, I make this small movement in a way to create like a necklace of public spaces, no? And also with the Masana, no? In front of the entrance here, I make also another space, no? That join with the existing square, no? And the result of this is like the old city that never, it's only the Plaza Real that have this geometry so precise. Normally is the rest, no? And I make the public spaces something that connect one with the other, follow the movement, no? The movement of the people here, the movement of the people underneath, no? For example, the school, I make the entrance here facing the passage with the courtyard. I'm going to explain later the Masana, but you see my intuition was jumping completely the lines of the competition, no? Because it was a competition for invitation, we was 5, and I was the only one that I jumped the lines, and I won. But, okay. And in the middle of the I won, I start the project, and then they asked me for another project that was to create the facade of the Boqueria. And now I explain this project. We can pass. Yeah, okay, yes. No, here is only the thing that I said, no? How pass here, and also exists a passage that pass underneath on my building, and I make a cantilever also to see the square underneath of the cantilever, and then the ampliation of here, no? We pass. Yeah, this is they asked me to create a facade of this market. And I said, I don't want to create a facade of this market, because in a way, if I make a facade, I transform this in a building. And this has been never a building. This was a roof, provisional roof, but has been permanent, but it's not the quality of a building, no? And also, I had the problem of this building that you see in the middle, not so beautiful. And I say, okay. And when I say, no, I don't want to make a facade, maybe we can continue, they say me, but we have problem. We have problem with the rain, that when rain, the water enter inside. We have problem with the sun that destroy the fruit, the alimentation. And also we have a problem with wind. I say, okay, I have 3 problems. We can resolve this, but not necessarily with a facade, no? And the solution came when I thought, okay, I'm going to make, I'm going to dialogue with the roof, but trying to find solution of these 3 problems. We can pass, and the solution was to make some roof small dimension, that you can control the sun, and also this roof pass underneath of the big one to control also the wind and the rain, the sun, because the protection was for the wind was inside. And this was and also something that for me was important is to put this building that you find in the middle in second line, and passing this roof in front of the building, this building that have in the past too much protagonism, pass in second line. We can pass. This is under construction, not La Macera is under construction, but you see how I follow the rhythm, I enter in dialogue, because this space is a square that I make 3 facades. But I didn't want to make my square. I wanted to be part of the city, to saw. It's correct to see so? To saw the city that was broken in the middle, no? And I say, okay, I want to saw, but enter in dialogue with everything that I have behind. You will see that here, the Boqueria, I talk with the Boqueria also, because the Boqueria have a strong memory for us, for the people of Barcelona. And I make some continuation of the Boqueria. And you will see the housing. Also, I follow, I enter in dialogue with the houses that are behind and near me. We can pass. This is we can go quickly. No, And this is the housing we can pass. Again, we are here now. We pass. No, this is the thing that worries me, that is this connection, and doesn't interrupt this movement with my building. Because this movement that was existing before me. And I say, I want to respect all this movement because this movement belongs to the citizens. No? And I follow the thing that I find before me. We can pass. Yeah, again, no? I must say here that all the square is empty, but nothing shows that is empty, because the ramp to enter and also the ramp to go out is inside the actuation. And also all the ventilation is inside the new actuation. And also we have enough air, and I make some kind of prominence, and you will see that the square is like a big bomb to have enough earth to plant trees. But also saying that this point of view, and to emphasize this angle, I plant trees only in this area and leaving completely empty this part, because from here you have the perspective of the school. And also permitting this area for actuation and for meetings. And nowadays that there are a lot of actuation and meeting for politics, they use this space for the meetings, political meeting. I don't know if I am agree with the things that I put the size, but I don't know if I like the thing that they say. But, okay, we can pass. Again, no, it's only to remember this vision. With this vision, I make the project. We can pass, because and now, this is now. You see the facade, it's up, and you don't realize well because it's under construction, but it's a passage in the middle. We can pass. This is the model, no? And you see how yesterday we talked about ornament, and I say that before, through the ornaments, the building have some kind of rhetoric and some and particularity, no? Nowadays, it seems that it's complicated. I don't know, the architect, we don't manage to work with ornaments. And to me, I find this plastic quality with the movement of the facade, no? I try to make in my buildings some kind of particularity, no? Because each a window is, if you have a house here, this is your house, your window that is different of the others, no? And in a room, sometimes the window is a side of the room, and others, and I try to make this abstract composition to give some kind of quality of the facade. And also, for example, the saloon, the living room, have the window up, is up, no? I mean, the windows is inside the wall. In contraposition, the living is like a box that go. And also that make not only a movement in flat, also in section. You will see. We can pass. This is under construction. Here is the place. This part is private, and it's the legs that, with the cantilever. It's going to be finished in 8 months, more or less. We can pass. This is the cantilever of, and you see the corridor. We pass. And this is again the perspective. And I show you the next is the render that we present the competition. Yeah. No, you see, with this corner, for me it's so important, this corner, no? And I make the point with the most tension of the building in this corner, because it's the corner that you see from La Calle de Carmen, that is an important street, and this is making each space, each window is different. Each person recognize his window. Is not massive, it's not abstract. We can pass. It's an abstract composition, but and you see how the housing. I try to work with the same scale of the building that I have behind, no? That the housing buildings, no? That the dimension is a domestic scale, no? And I try to work with the same scale in another composition, but following the same. And also all this movement, not to make ampliation and to make the movement from one side to another with fluidity, no? We can pass. Okay. Okay, we pass. Now the school, you know, now we are working here. I must say that this building is quite big, 11,000 meters, and 6 floors. It's big. And I wanted to appear like small. This was my worry, my preoccupation. And also because this is an institutional building, here I work with a big scale in contraposition of the housing that I work with domestic scale. And I must say that this school before was here. This is an old hospital, a Gothic and Baroque, that for years has been this is the oldest school of Barcelona, of art. And they had this courtyard that belongs to them, protected with all the tourists and all the movement of the neighborhood, and they was very sad to move. But this building was not conditioned for fire, and they had a lot of problems, and the municipality decided here to transform this in library and to move the school here, no? And when I entered in the competition, I went to talk with the professor, the teachers, and they asked me, and they said me, we are preoccupied to move in a very urban school, no? We want spaces open, but was not possible to make a courtyard, and I thought in terrace, and okay, we can pass, and I make this small movement, you see, also to create terrace, and also because how I explained before, I didn't want a building facing the center of the square. I wanted to give to the square some dynamism, no? And making this collapse, this movement, also permit to change the scale, you will see later, and to create all this terrace that is the place that the student go out and, no? And how you see the plant is so easy. It's two L's, no? This and this. All the working shops are facing to the street. This is the corridor. And here, again, the theoric and the administration face the courtyard. Here is a big courtyard. And at the end of the corridor, because from this part of the building to another, there is a different level, no? And I communicate this L with the other, with these stairs, no? And at the end of these stairs, you find a terrace. All the workshop are protected with a brise-soleil, also to protect the intimity of the people working, because in front we have this square, this public space full of tourists, full of people, no? And I wanted not to be like a TV that the people are eating because they eat the thing that they buy at the market, and the people, the students are facing here. I protect with a brise-soleil, you will see later, but the student can see the square through this terrace. I talk a lot, but the image is much better than my talk. We can pass. This. You see? Also to change the scale, no? Because you realize that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floor. But with this small movement, with this composition more abstract, you don't realize well the dimension of the building. First, how I've broken in two pieces seems that it's smaller, no? And also, the end of the stairs is changed, no? If I make one stair over the other, the lecture of one floor, 2, 3 floor, is too easy, no? And making this small movement, like this, in a moment, one stair is here and the other here, and also when I arrive here, I change also the composition of the hall of this terrace is more aleatorio, and the perception of the different level is not so clear. And again, the corner is the point that I make the cantilever, is the point of I make the broken, and this point, this corner, that is the corner that you see from far from the street, is the point of more tension of the building. And also, I decide to broken the building in 2 colors, no? And here, the building that we have in front, a big and open space, I move with much more freedom and with a language completely new or completely mine, no? In contraposition, the part that is more close of the old city with the street and the building and more, the old building are more close. I try to be more neutral. The color is also more neutral. The opens are smaller, not so free. And the courtyard in the middle is here with a big window, also protected with a brise-soleil. We can pass. And here you see, no? Okay. This is drawing by the competition. You see, here doesn't exist the roof, because in the competition, and you see how this awful building had enormous presence, no? When I received the commission from the end of the Boqueria, I was very happy because it gave me the possibility to control this bad animal. We can pass. Yeah, here. And you will see also this piece of brise-soleil is handmade, not really handmade, but it's not industrial. It's semi-industrial. And you see how with a lot of different colors, no? Because entering the oven in a small quantities, and each time the color is different. But I wanted that, no? I wanted that to give vibration, no? And also this errors, this quality of the material that is not homogeneous, give more, you feel more the material. Okay, we can pass. This is the brise-soleil. This is a proof. Was not ceramica, but sporex to control the different distance. But you see the piece, no? The piece that the light enter here, but from back, no? From the city, you don't see the interior, but from inside, you see the sky. We can pass. As this, we can pass. And you see when the building, when I arrive at the street, no, in the back part is flat, is more in the color of the surrounding, and the windows are smaller, not domestic, because it's a school, but more in consonance with the building that we have near us. We can pass. The same, no? And also trying this, again, a cantilever, no? To face and to connect more with the street and have more perspective. Also because in front there is, I enter of a terrace, a theater. We can pass. And here, you see the corner. And in the interior is completely different. I wanted to appear like something more sculptoric, something more massive, protected from the exterior. But when we are in the interior, it's with a lot of sun, and you perceive all the time where you are. We can pass. No, this is the street, the stairs that move. And it's beautiful because in each moment of the day, the shadow change. This have some relation with the pavilion. We can pass. Okay. We can pass. That is made by the same architect. Must have some relation. We can pass. Yeah, and also, for example, here, no, I wanted to transform this courtyard, in like a street. And the fence of the corridor here, instead to appear like a fence, appear like windows, no? And is window the same of the windows, no? That here is the classrooms, and the third facade is the ceiling. We can pass. This is the ceiling. The ceiling, it can open. I am very worrying about the circulation of air. I make a project that the circulation of transversal and, no? If you don't want, they make me the obligation of mechanical ventilation and conditioner air, but this building work with no mechanical, with no technology, because the circulation of air, also because you see here, all this is open. And when it's very hot, we can open. Not always they open, but they can open. We can pass. And the interior of the class, of the showroom, no? Workroom. The studios, yeah. This, no, you see that it's transparent enough, but from the exterior are completely solid. We can pass. We can pass. Yeah. Another project. Another competition. Another time I jumped the rules, and I won. Yeah. It was a project in France, in San Dizier. The works go very slowly, but work. And this is the plan that gave us for the competition, no? They say this is the area 1, the territory 1, and they plan here houses. And also, they say the territory 2, to study a little the strategy, because this city has been lost population for years and years, no? And now they receive a lot of money from the administration to transform the city, no? And they make a competition for ideas, no? When I start, I visit the city, and I try to understand, because it was a lot of things that I couldn't understand, no? But also I observed things that was out of the area, but was so beautiful, no? And I couldn't understand why this big river was out of the territory, no? Okay, then let's see the observation, no? We can pass, no? You see how this river is enormous, beautiful. How can the city can be back, no, of this river? We can pass. This was the river, big and with the space is beautiful near. That we can pass, and also the castle. I observed this castle, no, from outside the city. The castle appears like that, but from the city appear like that. I couldn't understand, no? I say, what happened here, no? And I tried to, I start to look for all plans and to try to understand the city. We pass, and all was focused in this canal, no? The new building, this is the new swimming pool, the new cinema, all focused in the canal, but nothing with the river. And also they asked us to make construction facing the canal. Also because, I must say, the property of the canal that have also the territory near of the canal is the mobiliary, is the one that promote houses, no? And then it's like a merchandise, no? It's like business, the city like business, no? With no conception of the global city. We can pass, and the area of market of the street, and this is the main hall. This is my observation. I make a lot. We have the property of each house. I send people of my studio to live here for a week, asking at all the people and taking notes and trying to understand, looking for all plans. And now I present only some small resume. We can pass. And this was the old city. The city disappear. Again disappear. Aquí. ¿Dónde está? key. Before, because the situation of San Dizier was in the limit of France in relation with Germany, and this area in a period was very important for the defense and the protection of, and was a castle, no? But in a moment appeared a fire that burned down half of the city, no? And then they decide to cut the castle, no? Here, to make a big street here, cutting the castle like that, no? Was a period, you see, this period that they believe in the science, no? The razón, la ilustración, no? More with the razón, with the ciencia. Yeah, more than tradition, more, no? And they decide to, with no problem, to cut the castle, to communicate this street with the other, and that's all. And start to disappear because the times of the necessity of the walls of the city, like a protection of the frontier, was gone and become an industrial city. We can pass. And this is the period that start to make canals, no? To make these canals, because San Dizier become a place for foundations, for iron foundation. All the furniture for the city, in the industrial city, all the benches are made in San Dizier, no? And they create all the canal to transport the material to go. But with today, San Dizier disappear like industrial in this way, and they don't need the canals, and again, all the canals disappear. And then San Dizier is a city that is very difficult to recognize his history, to recognize, because it's part of things that are dead, no? There. And I try again to show not only the space, but to show the history. You understand? To show the identity of the village. We can pass. This is the scene that all Garnier is made in San Dizier. They make this kind of things. All this is made in San Dizier, but no more. We can pass. Maybe. We can pass. This, we can go back. I changed, but no. Later. This is my project. I like also when I work in big scale, to transform each project in a very simple sketch. And this is the project. The project, what is this project? This is the canal. This is the river. And I say, I want to make a promenade, an empty, because nowadays the public space, because the people don't promenade, they footing, bicycle, are much more dynamic. It's not like before with the umbrella, walking with the baby, no? It's more dynamic. And I say, okay, I'm going to make a public space longitudinal, no? That connect the canal with the river, and the river, and this promenade following the river, arrive to the commercial area, no? This is the street, the commercial street with the square of the main hall, no? And where the commercial street and the leisure space cross, that is the castle, I'm going to make an area cultural and representative, no? This was my project. And back now? No, it's this. You see this, the canal, I make this promenade. I try, this is the area that they wanted houses, no? And it's good for me because with this excuse, I make the connection of the public space with the castle here, and the area of the castle in front of the castle exists now, this big part that connects with the river, and the space near the river connect with this area. This is small is done. Now we are doing all this area. I don't have photograph, but doesn't matter. It's the no, and here connect with this existing square all the acts of commerce, no? Okay, and this. We can pass. Pass. Yeah, this is the existing now. You see the castle with the house, the new street. That you see is terrible, no? But it's so difficult to find how to recuperate the identity, how to recuperate some kind of harmony of this city that is completely broken. Okay, and I present my actuation, the image which I won the competition is working, but with a lot of change, but essentially it's okay. It's working. We can pass, no? This is the transformation. You see the castle. I make in front of the castle. I suggest them to move the market that was, sorry, aquí. Whoops, disappear. Aquí. No, the market that was here, I propose to remove the market here, and to create in front of the castle a public space, no? And also the canal, I make the canal inside a little, and near the canal houses, and make the concentration of the houses in high buildings, no? To make the transition of the high buildings that are behind. And I try to give some coherence of this. We can pass. This is before, and that nobody used the river, nobody, because it was very dense, with no possibility to walk. And the imagine that I present is more conceptual. Now it's a little different, but I explain you the concept, how I try to change the village. We can pass. This is the image that I gave to the municipality for the competition, no? Is to transform all near the river for public spaces to practice play, games, and you see here the commercial area, no? We can pass. And now okay, we can pass. I propose also, back, please. No, potager, come let's say, garden for the cultivation of the community, to tomatoes and, yeah. This is the public vegetable garden. We can pass. And okay, we can pass. Are not, and now we are in the period to clean the forest, and I must go because I don't have the control. It's the municipality. I make the plans, but they don't permit. They want to be free. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I am not accustomed. this way. I like to control everything, but sometimes it's not possible. Okay. And then, I don't know if it's... Oh. Yeah. And now it's some houses, social houses. I have to project more, but I thought it's too long, no? 5 minutes? Yeah, one more. Yep, we can pass. This is in Madrid. We can pass. It's a terrible area in Bayecas. This is the way that the city is done now. That is housing like merchandise. The streets, not like public spaces, no. Like the way to arrive to the plot, the house, no? It's never with an idea of city, no. It's the urbanism. I say that for me it's more important urbanism than architecture. Sometimes I say bad architecture, no, bad urbanism. There are not good architects can resolve bad urbanism. And a good urbanist can support bad architecture. But bad urbanism is the worst. And here is bad urbanism. And also, for example, this is our area. It's a big square, but the interior is divided. Each house has a piece of this. Separate with wall is terrible. And I make this corner, and again, I try to make also the circulation of the building with transversal movement of air, and also the contribution of the city, and also giving to the people to recognize his windows, no? We can pass. You see, my piece of the interior courtyard, I make a garden that I offer this garden to the city through this passage. When you walk to the street, you see the garden. Maybe they don't permit to pass. That depends on the neighborhood, of the people that use the building. But they see, they offer the garden to the city. And you will see here, with this small movement, I make some kind of vibration to the building inside to make a corner massive. We can pass. Yeah, this also, this kind of, it's social, it's very cheap, no? But it's full of this passage, no? We can pass. And you see my neighborhood. No? This is the thing that I don't want. No? This university, come on. Yeah, everything equal. With no personality, no? I try to make movement more personality. We can pass. And also, this cantilever, no? Permit, because we can pass, yeah? No, back, also to see how they make the city, how kind of responsibility have the politics. You see how this building arrived to the street, because they don't permit to make commerce in the floor. Why? Because there are a big space, commercial, that pay a beautiful park near, but in contraposition, push to the municipality not give commercial in ground floor. And you see how this building arrived to the city. Can imagine to walk here. For that reason, we can pass, because I didn't have permission to make commercial. I make this passage, and also I make this movement, and when the house, this movement is back, I try to make some houses that arrive a little high, that arrive in the ground floor, with a garden in front to protect the vision, no? But it's my contribution to the city, with the small things, but always thinking with the city. We can pass, and that's all. This is the, no? You see, the concrete is not fantastic, but it's quite quality. It's not bad. Okay, it's gone. Yeah.